1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
10 in the face, slim in the waist. 10 in the face, slim in the waist. 10 in the face, slim in the waist. Do you wanna taste? Do you wanna taste?
Check it, not from the bay, but I can make you go hype. Your girl won't like me, but your boy might wife me. Do the right thing, just like your name was Spike Lee. Ain't gotta do much to write in checks like Nike. What's good, y'all? It's your girl, Miss Nessa, aka Blaze Your Mommy, and this is the first official show of the realNS podcast, a podcast about living life through the lens of a Blasian. This is a guest-based show where we get to converse on interesting topics. So with that being said, here's today's guest, my very first guest. Who are you? Would you like to introduce yourself?
I think so. Hi, you guys. My name is Brittany. I'm lit. That's pretty much it.
That's it? Tell our listeners, what do you do?
I basically work with kids. I work at a military youth center with some amazing and dope individuals.
Oh, do tell.
Yes, like the host of the show. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I have a passion for kids, so I definitely enjoy what I do.
Love it. I love it. So welcome to the show. So this is my first official show. Yay. I've been working on this podcast for the past 6 months. It started off as an idea, and here it is 6 months later, manifesting. So I'm really excited about that. So yeah, let's get it started. Okay, so this first segment is called For the Culture. So it's like a little icebreaker game that I want to play so that our listeners can get a feel of who my guest is and how they will respond to certain questions. So that being said, I have a little spinner for you that you're going to spin, and we're going to figure out which of the 4 games that you're going to play. So the 4 choices are Would You Rather, Black Card Revoked, We Love 90s, and just some normal questions to ask. So let's see.
Okay.
What you got, girl?
I'm broken nails. Okay.
It's okay. They can't see it. What color you got?
Yellow? Well, I mean, it's in between yellow and blue.
It's up to you if you wanna spin it again.
All right, I'll do it again. Yellow.
Yellow. Okay.
Yeah.
So yellow is We Love the 90s.
Okay.
You're a little young, so I don't know if you'll be able to know some of these questions, but we're gonna try. All right. So let's start with this. First question. What kind of animal is Pumbaa in The Lion King?
He's what is he called? Isn't it a warthog? Is that wrong?
That answer actually is correct.
Hey.
Good job.
That sound effect threw me off.
Okay. All right. So let's see. The next question. Let's see.
Remember, like, I was born in 94.
I know.
So, you feel me? So, like, if it's early 2000s, I could probably get it. But if it's, like, 90s, like, your girl was, like, 3.
Let's see. Okay. If you are a 90s baby, if you were 80s baby, then this was the era of the boy bands.
Oh, here we go.
And this is my favorite boy band. Okay, so question is, in what video are the Backstreet Boys singing In the Rain?
In what video?
Yes, they're singing in the rain.
Like, I gotta name the song?
Yes.
Oh, I hella don't know.
Okay, I'll give you I'll give you 3 options. I'll give you 3 options, okay? Quit Playing Games, All I Have to Give, or Get Down.
we can't like rewind and do like a black boy group at least. Like,
Just take a wild guess.
okay, wait, give them to me again.
Okay, quit playing games. All I have to give, or get down. So they're singing in the rain.
The second one.
The second one, all I have to give, that is incorrect.
That sound is so unnecessary.
The actual answer
Is it the first one?
Yes. Quit playing games with my heart. That is my jam. Oh, thank you.
I cannot relate.
I cannot relate. All right, let's see. Do you want a true or false one, or do you want another question one?
It's up to you.
Okay, let's see if you can. Are you familiar with the Spice Girls?
Not really.
Oh, shit. All right. Oops, excuse me. Okay. Well, you know what?
That's
Well,
one.
I think you might get this. I have faith in you.
Okay, so if I get it wrong, then it's going to count as right since you have faith in me and I really don't have faith in myself.
We go see.
Okay.
All right.
Give it to me, Ness. Give it to me.
What was the Spice Girls' first U.S. single?
Listen, can I have
You want me to give you the three options?
give me an option.
Okay. Say You'll Be There, Wannabe, or Stop. Their first single.
Hey, are they the group that sings that one song and it's like, that song?
Yes.
Is that Wannabe? That's not Wannabe. Is it Wannabe?
I don't know.
I'm going to take it as a yes.
Yes. the
Okay.
answer is Wannabe.
Wow, look at me.
If you want to be my lover. Yes. That's funny because I had a feeling you was going to sing that song too. And I'm like, All right. So we'll hit you with one more. Let's see. Are you familiar with Full House or Seinfeld?
Full House.
Full House. Okay. So I got faith in you. I'm pretty sure you'll get this one. You got this, Britt.
Okay.
It is for the culture, for the 90s culture. All right. On TV's Full House, what was Michelle's catchphrase? Want me to give
You got it, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is correct. Yes, it was out of Holy Cats, You Got It, Dude, or Groovy. Good job.
I used to watch like Full House all the time at like
Really?
Nick at Night. Yeah. So
I have faith in you. Okay, I gave you the little option. So I feel good because I trusted my instincts and I trusted yours. So we got this.
Yes.
All right, quick Lyft plug. This is a quick advertisement. If you're looking to make extra money on the side or want a discount on a ride, use my discount code Vanessa334087. Again, that's Vanessa, VANESSA 334087. Now, back to our regularly scheduled program. All right, so this is a segment I like to call Amazing Blasians. So let's get into our Amazing Blasian segment where every week I take the time out to recognize a fellow Blasian like myself. And they can either be a celebrity that you may or may not have known that were mixed, or someone that I know truly dearly. So today's Amazing Blasian is going to be none other than my girl Jasmine. My girl Jasmine is a barber doll. Yes, a female barber based out of Texas who is known as a master barber at the Chop House Barber Company in Houston, Texas. She's doing the damn thing, and I'm so proud of her because she does a lot. Like, she be moving and grooving on her own. She just be in her own world. She was a what do you call it? She was a flight attendant at one point in time, and now she like cuts hair. She's vegan. She just does a lot. And again, she's also Black and Filipino, like your girl. And her IG handle is Jazz the Barber Doll. That is JASTHEBARBERDOLL. So definitely check her out if you are in the Houston area. And she's so legit.
That's so dope. That's like
So
something
dope.
I've always wanted to do, like on the side, but never had the courage to do. Like go to school and like become a barber. That's super
It's
dope.
dope. She's self-taught and everything.
Hey.
Like, and her clientele is huge. And I seen one of her videos, and she had put her prices up. And she did a follow-up video. Like, people were talking shit about her pricing, like saying it was too expensive. So she showed a screenshot of the equipment that she has. And like, I'm not too familiar with the terms, but it was like some type of like cutting thing.
Top of the line.
And the shit was like 3-4 G's. And I'm like, yeah, exactly.
Right.
So she,
Like, hold up.
so she's like, yo, this is what's going to that. Like, I'm hitting you guys with the best of the best. So, but I seen her work and she's so legit. So shout out to her. Okay. So that takes us to the topic of the day. And we're going to be talking about beauty standards. So speaking of hair, today's topic is going to be on our natural hair, whether it be curly, straight, or locked, whatever journey that we are experiencing. So we have different textures and curl patterns. Ooh, excuse me. I don't know if you remember this, Britt, but do you remember one day we were talking about hair and I had said, oh, I think this is my hair type. And you was like, no. What did I say it was?
I think you said you were like a 4 something. You said you were like 4A or something. I was like, no, you're definitely like a 3A. Like, I had to help you out with that.
And if you guys don't know, there are different type of curl patterns. And what would you say? There's kinky hair, there's wavy hair, there's curly hair, and straight, right?
Yeah, there's all types of hair.
Yeah, there's all types of hair. And depending on what your curl pattern is will determine what products work best for your hair. So I was just guessing because I didn't take, I guess you could take a test and stuff like that. I didn't know no better. So I was like, oh yeah, I think it's a 4A or whatever. And Britt looked at me like I was crazy.
Like, what do you mean? I'm like, cause I'm a 4C. So I'm like, if you a 4A, then what the hell is wrong with my hair?
That is so funny. So I just want to talk a little bit about our backgrounds with our hair, our natural hair journey, and different products that we may use. But let's scale it back and let's talk about today's society and what it is with our hair and how it may or may not get us certain jobs. You know, I don't know if you remember the story. It was like, I don't know if it was like later on at the end of the year last year or earlier this year. I don't know if you know about the wrestler that before his match that the referee made him
cut his locks.
How did you feel about that? Because you being on your lock journey, which we'll talk more about that in a sec, but how did that make you feel?
I was definitely feeling some type of way. It's insulting. It's humiliating. I can only imagine what that child ultimately, because I think he was like in high school.
Yes.
But just to even be subjected to that, like, they was definitely wildin'. Like, the time and the effort that goes into locking your hair, and his locks were probably like either a little past his shoulders, but they were definitely longer than mine. And it wasn't okay. Like, I still to this point don't understand why his hair was made to be such a big deal, but the time that goes into locks and locking your hair, it's just like, it's something that you can't get back. And for them just to be cut, like, it's not a big deal. Like, I definitely would have went off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's also just your everyday hairstyle. And I seen a meme. I want to say it's Meghan Markle, right? Mm-hmm. I seen a meme where it was like a picture of her with her straight hair, which she normally rocks, and then another picture of her with her curly hair. And then the caption was, when you go for a job interview to when you actually get the job.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny, but at the same time, it's like, damn, like the fact that, you know, in certain places, like, you can't be who you are. You have to do certain things to please others.
Right.
For what? You know what I mean?
Right.
And then not only that, you know, straightening your hair, you know, can be damaging. And definitely nothing against those that enjoy straightening their hair or feel like they need to due to, you know, their different textures. you know, but the fact that some people feel like that's something that you have to do to feel accepted.
It's a necessity.
Yes. And it's very sad, you know? So bringing it back to your lock journey. So let's talk about that, because isn't something special coming up soon?
Yes, my lockversary is coming up on the 8th, this Saturday. So in 2018, on June 8th, I made the decision to get locks, to start my lock journey. And I started off with comb coils, and to just see the transformation in my hair altogether to this point is just like super dope. Because when I first started, I was like, there is no way these comb coils are going to stay in my head. And I thought they were going to unravel. And then just to see it change from month to month, it's dope, and it's a huge accomplishment for me. I'm so proud.
So I don't mean to cut you off, but what made you decide one day, like, I want to start locking my hair? What was it that made you want to try this?
So for my lock journey, so if you talk to anybody with locks, like, everybody has a different reason for starting locks. Some people are there for the journey. Some people are there for the hairstyle. Some people are just lazy and just really don't want to do much to their hair. And, like, to be honest, I feel like I'm a mixture of all three. So I remember talking to one of my good friends and just contemplating, like, I think I want dreadlocks. Like, I think I want to lock my hair. At the time, I was looking on Instagram, because, you know, Instagram is just like, everything is on Instagram.
Yeah.
And
it's like the easier version of YouTube, I guess.
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't use easier. I don't know what term to use, but it's kind of parallel to that.
Exactly. So, before I locked my hair, I was obviously a loose natural, and I would switch my hair up so often. And I think I honestly just got to a point of being tired of just having to, like, constantly do something to my hair. Coming up, I wasn't really into my hair. Like, my mom and my grandmother were both cosmetologists, but I feel like that cosmetologist wanting to do hair gene, like, skipped over me. And I just feel like I just got to a point where I'm just tired of being what society wants me to be. Like, I for the longest would rock faux locks, which are like the fake dreadlocks. And it probably was the second time that I had got them, and they were like the Bobby Boss ones. And I remember having those in my hair, and I was just like, you know what? I really like this look on me. So I liked it so much, I was just like, well, why don't I get real locks? And then I talked to one of my good friends and was telling her, like, man, I'm thinking about getting locks, but I don't know if I should do it, because I've heard so much about people getting locks and that, you know, them missing out on certain opportunities because of how they look. And real shit, like, that was something I thought about, because I'm like, I wanted to get into law at one point. Right now I want to be a social worker, and I'm just like, I don't want how people to perceive me to keep me from doing amazing things.
Yeah, from like excelling and stuff.
Right. So I was contemplating for like a few months, and at one point I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna wait till I'm 30, wait till I'm older to just lock my hair where it's not really like a big deal. And then I went on Twitter one day, kind of just ranting about society's perception of Black people and our hair in general. And I was saying how I wanted to get locks. And this Black woman, I'll never forget, she tweeted me, and she was just like, what did she say? She was like, why would you want to work for any company or anybody that's going to discriminate against you for your hair? Like, and the way she said it, it was just like, dang, like, that's true.
Real
like,
question.
why would I want to work for a company that has an issue with how I look?
Yeah, that aren't accepting.
Right. So after that, I was just like, you know what, I'm going to get locks. And I remember my loctician, shout out to Vero. She's located at K-Styles Barbershop. So if y'all want y'all locks done, go to her. She is the one who is definitely has been there for my entire journey. She's the only person I'll go to for my locks. But I was like hitting her up on Instagram, messaging her different pictures of what I wanted my locks to look like. And I remember going in that Friday because I had to go to work in the afternoon, and I was just like, let's get this done. And she did them. So, I mean, I love my locks, and I'm so excited to see where they're going to go, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And it's dope. And it's funny, just like men who get, go to the barber shop and they have their same barber, women go to the same, same stylist, because you can't just let anybody touch your hair, not. Especially the process of getting it locked. You know what I mean? And not saying that some people aren't credible, but it's like, you might as well go to someone that already knows what you're doing and the direction you're going, so that you don't have to, put too much work in trying to explain what it is that you want, because they already see your vision.
Exactly.
So
you cannot go to anybody for, like, especially with being a Black woman, like, you just can't go to anybody for your hair, period. Like, and for my locks, you can't touch my locks if your soul is dirty. Like, if your soul is not clean, don't touch my locks, because on this journey, I'm learning it's a big deal with, like, energy, and just, you'll meet people that they'll cut their locks. They'll have their locks for, like, hella years, and then next Tuesday they cut their locks, and it's like, dang, like, why did you cut your locks? Because your locks hold so much in it. Like, there was this woman who had, like, super, super long locks, like, hanging all the way down her back, and she cut them because, like, her son had died. So it's just like, there's, like, a deeper meaning, like, depending on who you talk to about your locks. And it's just like, if your soul is dirty, like, keep your hands out of my hair, period. Because I don't need to pick up any bad vibes, any bad energy into my locks and fuck up my lock journey.
And that's real. And that stands for anything, not, just being on that journey of wanting to be free and not worry about toxicity,
Right.
We all got shit that's going on between us, but then it doesn't mean that you need to put that on someone else. Like, it's not fair to us,
right?
And I'm a huge energy person.
Yes.
You know that I'm a huge energy person. So, sometimes, like, I might seem like I'm a little off, because maybe I am, but sometimes I'm just in my own zone, and I'm just, like, thinking about, okay, what am I gonna do tonight?
Move.
Yeah, what's my next move? So then sometimes I'm just kind of, like, tunnel vision, and then someone tries to, like, hit me up on some, and start venting. And sometimes, like, no, not sometimes, all the time I listen.
Keep it all the way 100.
I always listen, because that's just the type of person I am. But at the same time, I need to let people know if I'm not healthy, so to speak, to intake that energy. Right. Because at one point in time, and this can be a totally another subject, so I could talk about it another time. But real quick, I've had it where back to back to back, I've had people come to me and vent to me and ask for advice. And it got to the point where it was so draining that I didn't feel right from within, because I was taking all of that in. And, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a, psychologist, none of that. But the fact that people felt comfortable enough to talk to me about whatever it is that they had going on in life, I took that with pride. Like, okay, they look to me, as someone important that to share that with. But in, on the other end of the spectrum, it can be detrimental to my health, because I'm taking nothing but negativity. You're getting it off your chest, putting it onto me, and then you get to walk away like, oh, I feel better.
And that's a lot.
Exactly.
That's a lot to have to hold.
Exactly. And then just on this journey, of self-discovery and reinventing myself, it's like, I have to realize that sometimes I have to be like, as much as I want to listen, right now it's not the time. So it's very interesting that you mentioned that about the locks, because I had no idea. I don't know much about anything. I don't even know much about my own hair. And that brings me to talking about, our different backgrounds and our journeys. So quick story. So, so I had a photo shoot last week, and it was for my podcast. And it was on Friday, and I was talking about it at work with my coworker and my boss. And I'm just not going to say names, But so we're talking, and I was just like, yeah, for my photo shoot, I want to because this is one of my all-time favorite hairstyles, and it's the fro hawk, right? But my hair's a little too long now, so I have to wear it a certain way. Like, there's different ways you can make a fro hawk, but because the length of my hair, if it's dry, like if it's like next day hair, 3-day hair, 4-day hair, like my hair is just too long, and you know, so like today would be probably a good day to try it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I was talking about that and I was like, dang, I don't know how I want to do it, blah, blah, blah. And then my boss was like, why don't you put it in a bun? Why don't you just put it in a teacher bun? And I was like, that would be cute, but, you know, and then my coworker walks in and she was just like, yeah, you know, she's like, there's like a sock, like, she's like, they're like trying to explain to me, just get a sock, put it over here, cut it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, they talking about it like it's like, something, what? Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know what y'all talking about. Yeah, just slick your hair back. I don't know how to slick my hair back. And as it sounds funny, but it's reality. Like I'm so what's the term I'm looking for? Late? Not late, but it's like I'm ignorant, I guess, so to speak, when it comes to doing, I guess
that's a strong word.
Well, I mean, but it's real. It though. Is what it is. It's real. And you know, and just going back to, you know, our cultures and just, you know, okay, so for instance, you were talking about being lazy and doing this, that, and the other with your hair. I'm lazy as well, but some people, they're just like, but you don't have to do nothing in your hair, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, no, but I do have to do stuff to my hair. And it's like, I feel like some people, they don't understand my struggle, so to speak, because it's not theirs, or you know what I mean? And, you know, and just growing up in general and just quote unquote, and this is real, people saying you're too black to be Filipino and too Filipino to be black. And it's like, what does that even mean? Right. You know, and being bullied because my hair was curly and that I had that quote unquote good hair. Like, you know, it's like, I was born the way I was, like, but I didn't choose to be this way. And not that there's anything wrong with it, but people made it seem like there was something wrong with it, or that I had to feel less than.
Because they were insecure about themselves.
Exactly. So, you know, so when I hear these hairstyles, these what should be easy or go-tos or basic hairstyle, you should know. Stuff that I should know. I'm just like, I have no clue. Yeah. You know, and that brings me to our journeys. You talked a little bit about your journey, so I'm going to talk about mine. So, story time. Or not.
Or no. Hello.
Sorry. I was just feeling it. I was just really feeling it. My bad.
I would do the sound, but you know, my throat, the way my throat is set up, I can't hit that octave.
Story time.
I feel like I'm waking up in a garden when I hear that.
So that's like a flashback sound. Okay, so, and this is real life. So going, you know, just continue on what we was talking about with, you know, not knowing too much about my hair. Growing up, I used to straighten my hair all the time because that's what was deemed as, you know, the beauty standard, in which still till this day, I feel like, yes, they're making some changes, but that's kind of like what it was back in the day. And a lot of my other Blasian counterparts can attest to this. So we felt like we always had to straighten our hair because we weren't accepting of our curls. And it became like self-hate to the point where like I would rock my hair curly maybe like 2 days in a row, and I literally would look in the mirror and just be like, you're ugly. And I would go and wash it dry it, straighten it, and be good. And then I used to always get my hair cut by this particular lady on base. Fellas and ladies, don't go on base. Don't go on base to get your hair cut ever. I'm speaking from experience. But I would ask for a trim, and she would cut my hair. So I would always leave crying.
Baby, we'd be fighting.
I was young, though. So I'm like, you know, and then my mom didn't know no better. So she kind of was just like, what's wrong with it? You wanted a haircut? And I said, no, I wanted to trim my ends. And then sometimes she, you know, burned my scalp. It was just a hot mess. So up until I think it was like I think it's going on 6 years now, if I'm not mistaken. I started this, what I called Love Thyself Challenge. And I vowed for a whole month, the whole month of September, that it would be a no heat month, and that I had to make sure that I wore my hair curly all the time. And at that time, my hair was pretty short because a couple years prior to that, I did the Japanese Japanese straightening thing. I don't know if you heard about that. So pretty much it's like, obviously it's chemicals in your hair, and it straightens your hair. It's supposed to straighten your hair permanently, and then I think you come back.
The Japanese version of a perm?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So then you would come back, I think 6 months, and they would just like kind of touch up your roots. But how potent it was, I would go shower, and like my hair would barely, not even be wavy, like hardly even wavy. And then chunks of hair was falling out. I remember just sitting in the chair. Shout out to my lady, Sachi. She's Japanese. She's the only person I let touch my hair. The only person I let touch my hair. And it's funny, come to find out, two of my teen girls go to her. So we have the same hairstylist, which is funny. Yeah. So I remember sitting in the chair, and it was like a 5-hour process, I think. And she was working on it. And I just remember starting to cry because I was like, oh my gosh, like this is goodbye to my curls. Even though I had a love-hate relationship with it, but just knowing that if at one moment I want to switch back to my curls, I couldn't, like that was devastating to me. So I was like, am I making a mistake? Whatever the case may be. I wasn't into doing a big chop because I was just so scared, you know, of, I knew my hair was going to grow back, but just, I didn't know how it would look, how it would feel, you know? So my hair was just crazy. It was just crazy. Like the new growth was like curly. And then straight. It was so ugly. Oh my gosh, the process was so ugly. But I got it done. And then fast forward, like I said, I did the whole Love Thyself challenge. And after that, the month of September, doing nothing but curls, I began to actually love myself. Well, at least love my hair, you know? And I was just like, curls? Okay, I can rock with these curls. And just and it's funny because I was like, my natural hair journey. But it's like my hair's always been natural, but I wasn't damaging it with products anymore, you know what I mean, and chemicals, excuse me. So I was just like, so anyway, speaking of all of that, what troubles have you faced with doing your lock journey? Like, what products do you use, or like what would you say to someone that too wants to go on a lock journey?
I would definitely have to say, like, the lock journey itself, it's a process. I mean, for me, you have to have patience. And if you don't have patience, you have to learn how to grow patience, because the lock journey, if you're doing the lock journey, like the organic lock journey, I guess is what I like to call it. And when I say that, I mean, you're starting from the bottom. Now we hear, like, you're starting with your choice of preferred starter locks, whether that's comb coils like me, or 2-strand twist, or braids, and you're waiting for your hair to lock and grow over time. Because nowadays, I guess there are so many different ways to have locks without really having locks. Like, I know at one point, I'm not gonna front, like, I wanted lock extensions, and these people on Instagram, like, they are just like talented as hell, and they make these lock extensions look so natural to the point where it's like, dang, like I could just skip out on the ugly stage and just have locks all the way to my back.
Because that is a thing, right?
It's a thing. Stage. Yeah. So, well, to me, so I guess everybody doesn't feel like there's an ugly stage. If you ask me, I feel like there is a definite ugly stage. Like, for the longest, I felt like I was Chief Keef rocking locks.
Not Chief Keef.
No, like that's I don't like period. And yeah, so definitely patience, and just committing yourself to it. Just staying with it, because I mean, like I said, when I was a loose natural, one of my things that I didn't really like about myself was just the fact that I felt the need to cover my hair and just always be rocking extensions, because I had the desire of having hair down on my back. Like, I guess that's just an insecurity I had, because I really wasn't like feeling my natural hair like that.
Sorry, I have a question that I meant to ask earlier.
Yeah, what's up?
So, protective styles. What exactly is that? Again, that's my ignorance. Like, but I want it to be explained to me, because that's kind of like when you wear extensions and stuff too, that can be a part of it, right?
Yeah. So protective styles are really just you. So you know how we straighten our hair from time to time. We might dye our hair from time to time. Protective styles are just any point where you choose to do something to your hair that's covering up your natural hair so that you're not damaging your natural hair. So for me, like even with me having locks, the cool thing about locks is like they're so versatile, especially when they're in the starter lock stage and being like short. Like I can rock a wig, I can rock a weave, I can get box braids. So like a protective style for me would be box braids, because I don't want to do anything to damage my own locks, you know? So that's basically what like a protective style is. It's just like you're putting something over your natural hair so that you're not doing anything to like hurt your natural hair. And yeah, so back to the original question, patience, definitely something you have to have. Wanting to commit and just being able to commit.
Because it's a process.
And I mean, one of the reasons why I ended up not getting lock extensions, aside from the fact that it is expensive, is I don't know what. I'm a baller on a budget. It's just the fact because I wanted my lock journey to be mine, and I wanted it to be authentic. Like I want somebody to be able to come up to me in like 5 years and be like, did you grow those locks yourself? Like, are those your locks? And yeah, they are. Who else's are they going to be?
That's real.
No, it's real. And then to anybody who wants to start locks, I say just do it. Just do it, like Nike. Nike should sponsor me because I'm broke.
With your Adidas outfit.
Why you have to call me out? Why did you have to call me out like that?
Gotta call a spade a spade.
I was so janky today because I had Adidas, and I have an Adidas jacket on with some Nike flip flops right now. I felt like so over the place, but no, just do it, because I feel like the longer you wait to start your journey, your lock journey, that's like more time that could have been going towards your journey.
Got it.
So like you're saying like, I'm just going to wait until this time to start. Like if you wait, like that's your own progress that you're holding up. Like when I was saying that I wanted to wait till I was 30. And then before I decided to start my lock journey last June, at one point I was saying, you know what? I'm just wait till my birthday, you know, like a little birthday gift, like then give me a few months to really decide. And if I would have did that, I wouldn't be celebrating my lock anniversary in June. I would be having to wait like a few more months to November.
Yeah.
So just do it. Like, you know, don't waste your time. Like get it done now, and that way you'll be able to see the process unfold quicker and sooner.
What products do you use?
So when I first started locks, because I was like experimenting, because you know I didn't really know what the hell I was doing. I went to the store and to like the beauty supply store and just kind of got anything that said for locks on it. Like, and then as I started really getting into my journey, I started doing research, and I use like essential oils and natural oils. So like olive oil, like black castor oil, Jamaican oil. Right now I'm using grapeseed oil, and it's really interesting because you can cook with it, but apparently it's really good for my hair too. So, I mean, it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone, but yeah.
That's interesting, because I know with me during my journey, the first product that I used was Mixed Chicks, right? And again, this was before I even knew about any type of curl patterns and stuff, right? So I used it, and it worked pretty good. I guess it did what it needed to do. And again, I was going through that stage, so I didn't really know what was working and what wasn't. And then I used Miss Jessie's Pillow Soft Curls. That was one of my favorites. And I used Cantu. And I used to use the one in the jar, the Shea Butter? The Shea Butter one. And then I even tried the argan oil. I love that song. And then I also used what is it called? I also used I I also used one that was what was it called? I think it was called like Mane and not Mane and Tail. It was like a mane something, but it looked like it was very colorful. It looked like a unicorn like color or whatever. And I tried it and it smelled so good, but it messed my hair up. And that's when I really knew that, oh, okay, yeah, you can't use certain products. You know, you can't use just any products on your hair. You have to be mindful on what, hair type that you have.
Exactly.
But that shit smells so good.
I was about to say,
that
like, it smells super bomb. Yeah, it's really important to, try to learn your hair, and that's the only way you're really going to know what products are going to be good for your hair and beneficial to your hair. And everything that they sell in stores isn't good for your hair.
Exactly. And then even with that too, like and that's how I actually started. I was YouTubing everything, going on IG looking for natural hair, like girls that, do different.
Them hashtags be coming in handy too.
It do. And that's why I was like, okay, so that's how I came across the fro hawk. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to perfect it. So the first time I did it, it came out pretty cool. And then the next few times they were like, and I was just like, dang, I just feel like my hair needs to be short. I even talked about it one time with my cousin, shout out to Princess. And I was like, I want to cut my hair. She was like, what do you mean cut your hair? And I was like, yeah, cut my hair like to, about my shoulder length or a little bit less than that. And she's like, why do you want to do that? And I was just like, oh, because I want to master the fro hawk. She said, Vanessa, are you going to wear the fro hawk every day? And I was like, I mean, if it works, like if I like it, then I could. She's like, you're not going to do that.
Probably not.
She's like, don't do that because, and you have to think about it, your hair's short, if she's like, do you want to cut it short, your curly hair or straight hair? Because, and that's another thing with people's hair. Everyone has different type of hair.
Right.
With my hair, my hairstylist, she has to straighten my hair and cut it. Whereas some people, you can wear it cut. I mean, you can cut it while it's wet or cut it when it's, while it's still curly. But with mine, like I have to have it washed, straightened, or washed, dried, straightened, and then she cuts it. So you know what I mean? So it's again, that's a process in itself. So I was just like, maybe I shouldn't do it.
That's something you get with locks too, like shrinkage.
Yeah, shrinkage is real.
Because when my loose hair as a natural, like it was probably like a little further than a little past the back of my neck, like, and then when I locked my hair, like that shit shrunk up real quick.
So your loose hair, that's like the roots, pretty much.
No, like being a loose natural, like
what is that exactly?
Like just my hair without locks. Or just like, just like hair like that. When I started my locks, when my locks started to really start locking, that shit shrunk up so fast. Like, Chief Keef. You guys are going to forever hear me reference myself as like Chief Keef because I think his locks were longer than mine. Never mind.
She said, but again, it's all a journey. And everyone's journey is different. So so that's pretty much it. So thank you for that. Any shout outs and parting words?
Of course. You know what? Shout out to me because I'm just like a dope ass individual and I feel like I don't give myself enough credit. So I'm going to do so on this podcast. But you know what I was going to say? You would be proud of me because guess what I did yesterday?
What did you do?
I joined a travel group yesterday.
Hey,
on
that's
Facebook.
What's up.
Yeah. So like I've been wanting to travel and everything. And so I found this like Black women like travel group. And so I had posted and I was like, is there anybody like around my age, like, young adults in this group? And I got like 5 girls and now we have a group chat.
That's what's up.
And this one girl is like trying to see if I can go to like Honduras, but we're going to take baby steps. Because people getting killed in the DR and shit.
Yeah.
Nobody got time for that. But yeah. So
that's what's up. I am proud of you because we've been talking about this. I'm proud of you in a lot of areas. I just want to let you know that. Definitely shout out to you for coming through and sharing your lock journey progress with me and the listeners. because again, it's a process, and the fact that you know where your destination is going, you continue to stuck by it despite the quote unquote ugly stage, and despite the you calling yourself Chief Keef, you know what I mean? It's at the end of the day, it's a process, just like anything else, like losing weight, which I need to get back on it, but just everything. It's relatable in all aspects of life. Definitely shout out to me for actually really putting this into place and watching it manifest. I'm really excited. Thank you. I was pretty nervous. I did do like a test run earlier this week, and I don't expect this podcast to be hella long. I feel like y'all can get that off the Jig Is Up. So definitely listen to both. I want you to be able to listen to both and not feel like it's too much, too overwhelming. But yeah, quick story before I forget. So you know how you were talking about you say you're wearing Adidas and Nike, right? We were watching some movie the other day with the kids. And I feel like, am I being shallow right now? I don't know what.
Oh,
but the kids, it was like kind of like the end of the world type of thing. And the kids were at a mall, and one of our kids, I won't mention the name, but one of our kids was like, if I was there, I would break into the clothing stores and I would steal all the clothes. I was like, well, yeah, that makes sense. Next thing you know, the next scene, the kids came out and they started dancing to Nelly, It's Hot in Here, but they were in Adidas tracksuit outfits, and they was looking fly. And I just happened to look. I said, is baby wearing some J's? And then one of the kids was like, yeah. And I'm like, why? Like, why do you have a whole Adidas outfit and some J's? And they're like,
it's the end of the world. Shit, let her live. But you're not gonna keep getting on me about this.
But listen, but if you in the store, so it's different because you chilling. But if you're in a whole ass store, a whole ass Adidas store, they have Adidas clothes, Adidas socks, and Adidas shoes. So you mean to tell me you got a whole ass outfit down to the socks? And then I'm going to go over here and grab some J's. Like,
babe,
what?
She was like, if I'm finna die, I'm finna go out like Jordan. It is what
J's
it is.
on my feet. That's so funny. But I like to leave the show on a positive note. So I'm ending it with a positive affirmation. And today's affirmation is, my hair doesn't define me, I do. My hair doesn't define me, I do. So with that being said, don't forget to check me out on the Jig Is Up podcast and chime in on my NSA segment. And on that note, sorry, you didn't even put your plug. You didn't put your
on my little handle or whatever.
Yeah, I'm all ending it. And I was like, wait a minute.
Okay, well, my personal IG is _that_ambitious_girl because I am that ambitious girl.
You are.
And then my lock journey, if you want to see that or check that out, it's at Brittany with the locks. So Brittany, like Brittany, with WIT without the H, because I'm a little
so whatever.
Brittany with the locks. Yeah. Yep. That's
what's up. And real quick shout out, I totally forgot to mention, I guess because it was so long ago, but shout out to you being so dope. To my listeners, this girl, back to back got her degrees. I'm just like, what? She even did a little freestyle to Drake's back to back.
Listen, that was a whole...
And she's young too, because you're 20? How old are you now? Oh my gosh.
I'm 24.
24. I just feel like, just working in my profession of being with so many, kids and stuff, and just watching them grow. And then it's the same with like
I was
you
about
guys.
to say, I thought you were about to call me kid.
Oh no, no. I'm just saying, like, because you started off, you've been there 3 years now?
Yeah.
So you were 21. So just to see you now, you're 24, and just the whole, when you turn 23, it's my Jordan year, just all of that stuff, but shout out to you for getting your degrees back to back. That's definitely Black excellence. Thank you. I appreciate you for that. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
But now, with that being said, for real this time, thanks for listening. Until next time, remember to always keep it real. Peace.
Bye.